Our series, America the Beautiful, celebrates 100 years of the National Park Service. Today, we take you to Great Smoky Mountains National Park at the most beautiful time of the year. Jeff Glor traveled to the country's most visited national park to see the fall foliage and meet the remarkable man in charge. Jeff, good morning.
Charlie, good morning to you. The Smokies are a special place. The ancient mountains, the forest that seems to go forever, the families who arrive generation after generation. So much history, now run by a man who just made his own.
As morning arrives in the Great Smoky Mountains, the trees light up like the colors of the sun. Impossible to look away from oranges, yellows, and reds.
It's a whole different scene. I think people come to the Smokies all year round, but there's something special about the fall, where the leaves change, the smells are different, the sights are different, and you really can see a different life of the trail.
The colors of autumn slide their way down the mountains, from colder peaks to warmer valleys, for up to 6 weeks. The Smokies are home to 130 different kinds of trees.
We're fortunate too because our fall peak season starts, in September and it goes all the way through November. So you have a time frame where a lot of people get a chance to see the fall foliage.
Because the elevation is so extreme, it goes from whatever 500 feet to 6,000.
Yeah,
you get a season that lasts for a month and a half.
Absolutely. This is part of the experience here.
Cassius Cash is the park superintendent, and his path here is just as inspiring as the views. He was raised a city kid in downtown Memphis.
Where you grew up, did you ever see any of this?
No, I had no relationship with the natural world. My only relation was I used to watch every Sunday Wild Kingdom.
Hello, welcome to Mutual of Omaha's Wild Kingdom.
You're probably too young to remember that show.
Yeah.
Remember?
The hyena is made to know at once that he's unwelcome in this area.
And that was the first time that my imagination was tapped. 1 week I could be in the Serengeti.
The female wasted no time in going to the nest to see that all was well.
Next week I can be in the Everglades, and I was just drawn and fascinated from the comfort of my home.
And by now you've done Oregon,
Washington State,
Washington,
Nebraska,
Boston
even, yeah.
What is it about this trail?
After Forest Service and Park Service jobs across the country, Cash is now the first African-American superintendent at Great Smoky Mountains. And his focus is on the next generation. A program called Hike 100 was his brainchild. It's a plan to get everyone, but kids especially, to hike 100 miles in this centennial year for the National Park Service. He's taken groups of kids up and down the trails since spring.
When the Park Service was created in 1916, 50% of our country was urban. Now 80% of our country is now urbanized. And so the likelihood or the relationship that kids are engaging with the natural world is shrinking on that. And so in order to be relevant for the next 100 years, we have to, as I share with folks, participate in our own rescue.
It's been inspiring for all those kids he's come into contact with, but also the people that have the honor to walk beside him and work with him.
Christine Hoyer is in charge of the backcountry here. Not easy, since there are 849 miles of trails, all of which receive near constant rainfall.
If you want to get on that side, just push it.
That means washed out sections often need to be repaired. A team of volunteers, in this case, are restoring the impassable with natural materials from the mountains. And they are still working, as Cash knows, well into fall foliage season.
It almost feels like a rainforest.
It is,
right?
it is. It's a temperate rainforest, right?
Yeah.
So the amount of rainfall and the amount of biodiversity are equivalent to having a rainforest type of ecosystem.
And as we talk here, leaves.
Yeah, right on cue. Thank you.
How tremendous is that, right?
Yeah. Can't make this up, man.
I mean, this is fall foliage in the
Right.
Smoky Mountains.
Right. It doesn't get any better than this.
What a great character.
Yes.
And what a tremendous name, by the way.
I was gonna
one
say,
of the
cool
great
name,
names of all time,
cool name.
Cassius
Cash.
And it was funny, he told us when he moved from Boston to the Great Smoky Mountains, they picked up his boxes and they label them, right?
Yeah.
And they wrote Cassius Clay
Yeah.
on the boxes instead. And he says that happens a lot. He gets introduced the wrong way.
Cassius Cash, but what a great ambassador and what a great personal story he has, Jeff.
Tremendous personal story and tremendous mission moving forward, trying to get kids out there.
From Memphis to the Great Smokies.
Yep.
So it's the centennial for our parks, and his goal is that kids and all of us should hike 100 miles this year.
That's right.
I like it.
That's a lot.
It
Another
is,
example.
but yeah, you get out there every weekend or
It's one of those things you look at, you go, what a great country we live in. Very nice.